Welcome back. Dale Myers with Student Advance. In this video, you are going to learn area and perimeter of rectangles. With no further ado, let's get to it. All right. So while I try to share my screen with you guys, remember, area and perimeter are related, but the perimeter, as you can see now on my slide here, the perimeter is the distance around the edges of an object. So if we are looking here at this first shape in the middle, I said the perimeter is the distance around the edges. So let's say if this first edge were, say, let's call it 2, and if this edge were 3, well, one thing, we're talking about the area and perimeter of rectangles, so we need to consider that opposite sides are equal. What does this mean? Well, if the side on the left is 2, that means the side on the right is also 2. And if the top is 3, that means that the bottom is 3. So if we were going to calculate the perimeter, the edge, the distance around the edges, I like to say, you know what, let's pick a starting point. So if I started right here, where I put that dot, then I walk around the block. Let's go for a walk around the block. Go all the way around there, right? I went all the way around and back to my starting point. Well, at first I was going to go up 2, turn and go right 3. Then I'll have to go down 2 and then back across 3. So I now just add these up. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 3 is 10. My perimeter, which has we just give it the symbol P, is equal to 10. And remember, this is just a good habit. It's always good to put a box or circle around your answer to make it easy for you as well as your teacher to find that answer. So the perimeter of our rectangle is 10. Now, notice what we did. I told you that opposite sides are equal. So the perimeter, we can actually come up with a basic equation for that. The perimeter is equal to whatever the length is, our length, and we multiply that times 2. So we say twice the length plus twice, that is 2, I'll erase that, make it look like my other 2, twice the width. So that's a general formula for the perimeter. Now, area. What are we talking about with area here? Area is the space surrounded by the perimeter. We're talking about the space inside of the perimeter. Well, how do we get that? Well, I'll tell you what, let me get in here. I'm going to erase a couple things, try to get rid of the orange. Now, what I want to do now is I want to break this up into shapes. So let's say when we're talking about the area, we're talking about space. And there's something called a unit block. The unit block is a block of size 1 by 1. So a unit equals a 1 by 1. That means 1 unit tall, 1 unit wide. Well, so if we look at our shape, our side length of 2 has 2 units, so we can kind of like cut it in half here and here. Our side unit 3 has 3 units, so we can kind of split that into thirds. Why am I doing that? Well, based on that, our first unit block will be right here. That's 1 unit block. Do you guys see that? It's 1 unit high and 1 unit long. The area is really how many unit blocks are inside of our shape. And we could actually go based on what we just did. I can now put in another unit block right there. So that's 2 unit blocks. And then I could come in and I could put in a third. I'm just using different colors so you see. And that would be, and it's not the prettiest, but you get the point. That's like 3 unit blocks. And finally, I'm going to just use black right here. Here's a fourth unit block. And now I can actually, I'm going to use red to make it easy. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6 unit blocks. So how many unit blocks are inside? We came up with 6 unit blocks. Now that you may say, well, I was wanting an equation. Well, let's get to the equation. What do we do? There's another way to get those 6 unit blocks instead of adding them in one at a time. We could simply say that the area and I'll type that in, area is equal to the length times width. The area of a rectangle is simply equal to the length times width. So in our case, our area A was equal to, our length was 3 times our width 2. 3 times 2, last time I checked, it is 6. So you can count by unit blocks if you must, but the easiest way to get the area of a rectangle is simply length times width. So to recap, perimeter, the distance around the edges. The area is the space enclosed by the edges. To calculate the perimeter, which is around the edges, we go twice the length, 2 times the length plus twice the width. And then area is simply the length times width. Before we go, how about a little practice? All right, let's go to the next slide. So using the perimeter and area equation for this top block, I'll do this one first, but you can kind of do it with me. The perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Well, what is our length? Well, the length is like the long way, so our length is 7. So 7. And we said 2 times the length, so let's put a 2 out in front. 2 times 7 plus, well, my length we stated was 3, so 2 times 3. Now we can go back and do the calculations. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 2 times 3 is 6. 14 plus 6 is 20. That is equal to our perimeter. Our perimeter is equal to 20. Now, what about the area? Well, if you look at the area equation, the area is length times width. Well, area is length times width. We said the length was 7. The width was 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Our area is 21, but one thing to remember, area is unit squared. You know how we kept doing unit times unit. So this will be 21. I'm gonna just put unit squared. That means unit squared right there. Area should always have whatever dimension, inches, feet, miles, it should always be miles squared, inches squared. Finally, very quick, pause the video, do that last one. You have a length of 2 and a width or height of 9. Calculate the perimeter and the area. All right, hopefully you guys have done that. So our perimeter, I'm going to use a different color here. Our perimeter is 2L plus 2W. Well, our length is 2 plus 2 times our width or height is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 9 is 18. 4 plus 18 is 22. So our perimeter is 22. Again, you would have some unit. I should have included, you know how many engineers, units matter. So this is 22 inches. So my unit would be inches here. What about my area? Well, my area is length times width. Once again, we said our length was 2 inches times our width or height, 9 inches. 2 times 9 is 18. Inch times inches, inches squared. I told you area should always be inches squared. So I hope you found this helpful. This has been area and perimeter of rectangles. Kind of straightforward. You do need to get the concept of unit blocks. That's where the area actually comes from. If you need more help, head on over to studentadvance.com. Look up under area and perimeter. Got a practice worksheet for you to help you out. Again, my name is Dale Myers with Student Advance. Please thumbs up, like the video. We'll talk to you in the future, helping you build the life that you and your family design. Take care.